Hi, welcome to my video blog and MommaTracker.com. I thought today it would be a good idea to talk about when we get stuck on our diet and or when we hit a plateau. I've been following Weight Watchers for a year now, and it's a wonderful program. You can live your life while you're on it. You count your points and you can just eat regular food and you're just making choices, and they're just teaching everybody how to eat within moderation. I'm a mom, and that's a mom's motto, everything in moderation. But sometimes we get a little bit stuck, even on Weight Watchers. I had come through the holidays, and I had lost about 4 pounds over the holidays. From December to January, the second week of January, I had lost about 4 pounds, and so I did pretty well over the holidays. But anyway, January rolled around, I went for 6 weeks and I was stuck. And my son James had recommended that maybe I do a little bit more of a strict diet, and gave me this diet to follow. I call it the Hell Week diet. We also call it James's Boot Camp diet because it helps kickstart your metabolism, helps kickstart your diet. So you're on this diet for a week, and then you go back to doing whatever diet it was you were originally doing that worked. You can do it a little bit longer. Recently I've been doing it a little bit longer, only because I'm about getting ready for this wedding. We're doing dress fittings and all that stuff, so we're down to crunch time here. But normally I would recommend going back and doing Weight Watchers or whatever program you're doing that you're losing slowly, because losing slowly over time is really the best way. But again, when January came around, I had been stuck for about 6 weeks, and so this is what helped me over my hurdle. Several people had asked me, or I had shared with several people how I did this because I was watching them struggle, and all of them came back to me and thanked me immensely for getting them over their hurdles as well. So I thought I'd share this diet here on my web blog, on my video blog, and this way when other people need to know how to do this, I can just point back to this to do this. Okay, anyway, I eat 5 times a day. This diet, I call it Hell Week diet because it's actually a very boring, bland diet. But it's not one where you're starving on like when we were kids. We used to starve ourselves. It's nothing like that. It's just a lot of veggies and a lot of protein. There is no dairy products on this. There's no salt, and there's no fruit. I eat 5 times a day. I usually start my day with a bowl of oatmeal. I prefer, you can use the instant stuff, but I prefer the real stuff. This is the old-fashioned, just the old-fashioned stuff. I make it in the microwave. I make it all in one bowl. It takes about 3 minutes, and it's just as easy as the instant, and it's actually, the portion size is a little bit bigger. So you actually feel a little bit more full, which is a wonderful thing when you're dieting. So that's usually my first meal, and that comes, I usually do that about 8:30 in the morning. Then I have another meal of eggs, and you can do hard-boiled eggs, 1, maybe 2 of them. I got tired of doing hard-boiled eggs. I wanted a little bit more flavor, and so instead I actually do my eggs scrambled, and I do add a drop of milk to them. I started out sauteing vegetables in just a little bit of olive oil. I always keep frozen chopped onion in my freezer, along with some diced peppers, diced green peppers in the freezer, and I'll saute a little bit of these in some olive oil. I scramble up 2 eggs with just a drop of milk. That's the only dairy I have, is just a drop of milk in my eggs, a drop of milk in my coffee as well. I'll saute the vegetables first, then I pour the egg over top, and then I scramble them all together, and that's what I eat for my second breakfast of the day, usually about 10:30, 11 o'clock, sometimes 11:30. Then the next meal I have, that I would have, James will actually do tuna fish. He'll do a can of tuna fish, and just plain drained. I guess you could add seasonings to it and that would be okay to do, but you can't add any like mayonnaise or anything like that. It's not tuna salad, it's just plain tuna, and I have a hard time doing that. So instead of doing that, I usually use imitation crab meat. I break these packages in half, and I do, with this, I would have, with each half of that package, I would do sugar snap peas. I prefer the ones from ShopRite over A&Ps, but I always have sugar snap peas on here because they're good to munch on, and I'm a picker, so I need these things like at night. Instead of eating popcorn, I'll eat these. I also like sliced cucumbers, and that works basically the same way. And so I'll have my imitation crab meat for my lunches, usually broken in half, with either sliced cucumber or my sugar snap peas. Sometimes I'll do chicken instead, and that's just, you know, boneless, skinless chicken breast that you're just going to be either grilling, or you can fry that in a frying pan. I like to, if I'm going to do it in the frying pan, I like to do the tenderloins. Which brings me to dinner. Dinner time, I usually do either chicken cutlet. Sometimes I'll do a beef and I'll grill it out on the grill. Again, there's no salt on this diet, so I use Mrs. Dash, and you can use whatever flavors you want to. I usually use garlic herb. You can use whatever you want to. And anyway, I'll use that on my beef, whether I'm grilling it or whether I'm frying it. And if I'm frying it, I like to use if I'm doing chicken, I like to use the chicken tenderloins, or I'll use the beef kebab, you know, the little cube meat, the beef round cubes. And I'll just saute them in a little bit of olive oil, and then I usually slice onion. I'll saute that in with meat, and they'll caramelize really, really good, and that's really good savory flavor in with that. And then I also use sliced green peppers, and I'll put that in with that, and that ends up being a little bit like a stir fry. It just tastes very, very good. And again, just a little bit of Mrs. Dash, and that adds a little bit of flavor. If I'm doing grilled meat, then I usually do steamed vegetables with that, and they're just plain steamed vegetables. They come in a bag like this. I think that there's many different varieties now. Some come with cracked pepper or whatever. Just make sure that there's no salt in with them. They should just be plain steamed vegetables. These are bird's eye, and they take about 7 minutes in the microwave. They're really easy to do. And I'll eat the whole bag all by myself, because any kind of vegetable is a freebie, just no salt on it. I will add a little bit of garlic powder to them. I stir it up, and that is my meal. That, and along with whatever meat that I'm going to be having. And that is the extent of what I do. And I usually do that for like a week or so. And that, again, will kickstart my diet. Right now, you know, we've had a lot of parties to go to and all those things, and it is crunch time because of the whole dress thing. So I've tried to be really good, and I think I stretch this out a little bit long, because you'll lose a little bit quicker on this diet. And again, I think losing slowly is really the better way to go. But and you know, once I get done with this, I'll go back to Weight Watchers myself, and I'll finish out whatever weight loss I need to lose. I'm probably like 13, 14 pounds off from my final goal weight on Weight Watchers. I'm about 2 pounds off from my next goal weight on Weight Watchers. I'm at about 58 pound loss now, so I'm doing really, really good, and I've come a long way since I was stuck at 38 pounds. Anyway, and so this is what got me over it, and I hope it helps everybody else too. And I thank everybody for visiting my video blog and MommaTracker.com, and keep putting in those comments, comment in the guest section, and keep coming back and checking my website. Okay, bye for now.